When you're reading screenplays from unknown writers, how far into the screenplay do you know whether it's good or bad?
Yeah, well, I think problems can show up very early in a script, right? But they don't always. So some scripts have a great setup, they have a great first act, and they, sort of have the right pace right away. They get the story rolling, and we feel like things are happening, we're invested. And then in Act 2, things fall apart, basically. Like if their protagonist stops pursuing the goal, we don't really know what's going on. So, I guess the answer is if a script has global problems that sort of cover the entire script, then you'll probably know within the first 5 pages or so. Definitely, I think if it has like major structural problems with all the structure, overall structure as a whole, I would say by page 15 or so, that there's a problem because you're waiting for something to happen. And one of the most common problems is that nothing's happening, right? Like it's just not getting going. So I would say that you can know right away, or you can know pretty quickly that a script has some issues or needs some work. But I would also say you can't always tell what a script, or often you can't tell what a script's issues are until later, until you've seen sort of what they're trying to accomplish or gotten a true sense of like what the story really is or what they're going for. And a lot of times you don't have that sense of what they're going for until later in the script, until towards the end of Act 2 at least,
So that probably sheds light on the need for really having your script in good shape before you submit it. And it's not your personal thing, it's more of an industry standard that if something within the first few pages isn't good, it's just going to be rejected for time's sake.
Yeah, I will say, so usually when I'm reading a script, I'm reading it to help, right? I'm reading it to try to figure out what isn't working and see where I can provide that insight to the writer so that they can make it better. A lot of people in the industry, as you know, are not reading for that purpose. They're looking for projects that they want to get involved in. And so since you are submitting your script, sort of asking someone to get involved in your project, hopefully what you've submitted will get them excited and interested right away. So you want to be able to get them interested on page 1, get them sort of hooked in the story by that inciting incident, build and escalate your story sort of throughout the rest as the character's pursuing that goal, so that your reader is invested and emotionally engaged and all that stuff through the whole thing. And then you want to deliver like some emotionally satisfying resolution and hopefully some genuine emotion by the end of the story as well, so that the reader comes away from your script moved or entertained in some way, so that they want to get involved and help you make it.
If we look back at, let's say, the recording industry, they would say, well, put the best 3 songs up front first, because some A&R person or what, I don't know. Don't really know too much about the music industry, but I just remember hearing that they're going to be listening to those 3, and if by maybe 1 or 2 in, it's not good, it goes in a bad pile. So
although the sort of flip side of doing that, I guess there's a lot of emphasis placed on making sure that your first 10 pages is so good and really hooky and grabs your reader, which is great. Of course you want it to do that. But I have read scripts where it was very clear that the first 10 pages were really worked on, and then after that there were clear issues that still hadn't been addressed, and so you don't want that either. You want a great strong start that hooks your reader, but then you want to deliver on what you've promised them. You want them to become emotionally invested and to stay engaged all the way through and to really care about the outcome and to feel something at the end,
Interesting. Okay, so then you can't really cheat it where you're like, I'm going to make these 10 pages the top 3 songs of the album, and then it turns out that the rest of it is just all B-side stuff that no one wants to listen to. And that's gonna bite you in the end too.
I don't think you can do that, because the purpose of making your first 10 pages really, really strong is to get someone to read the rest of it, right? So the rest of it has to be worth reading too.